It's a busy day here in Berea as we have basketball action, and next door also track and field going on the other side of the curtain off to our left here, but on the hardwood, here at Ursprung Gymnasium. It is men's basketball action here in the Ohio Athletic Conference, where the Capital Comets, they are visiting, and the Yellow Jackets are hosting and trying to find a way to get a win on the score sheet. Welcome in here on BWYellowJackets.com as well as OAC TV. I'm Cole McDaniel, happy to be with you here this afternoon, and take a look at these two teams here before we get this game underway, and the starting lineups are being announced here inside the arena. We're going to talk about the home team, though. The Yellow Jackets, they come in with a record of 5-13 overall. They're 2-9 in the OAC and currently 9th in the standings. As I've mentioned before throughout this year, it is a young team, though. And today, to be exact, there's 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. So this season has been about getting a lot of minutes to a lot of youth, which is going to go a long way in the future for this team. Even though this year's been a tough one, again, they have an opportunity to try to snag a win. And what is a winnable matchup here at home today against Capital. And we'll touch on the visitors in a second. But the Yellow Jackets, they are coming off of a big 100-68 loss midweek to 18th ranked Mount Union. Mount Union, one of the top powers here in the Ohio Athletic Conference. But in that game, the promising thing is that Rob Watson III and Nick Timberlake, they added double figures off the bench. And so if you want to try to win this game, you're going to have to get scoring aside from the stars in Ray Ellington as well as A.J. Pistello, too. For Capital, they come into this one with a record of 11-7 overall, 5-6 in the OAC, and they're currently 6th in the standings, hovering right around mid-table at the moment. They have won 2 of their last 3 versus Muskingum, and then midweek on Wednesday they won against Wilmington. Their last loss was just 1 week ago from today at Otterbein. So an opportunity to try to string 2 wins in a row with the win against Wilmington and trying to come here to Berea. 3 guys to look out for, averaging double figures for the Comets: Baden Forup, McCain Finkenbein, and Carter Combs as well. Tip underway here from Ursprung Gymnasium, and the Yellow Jackets, they win the opening tip. They're in their all-gray uniforms with the white numerals, and Capital in the all-purple with the gray numerals. BW will be going from right to left on your screen. And we'll touch on the starting lineups here in just a moment, but a quick turnover as number 2, Landon Potopsky, wasn't paying attention to the out-of-bounds line here on the near side. Step back, heel touches the line, and so an early turnover for the Yellow Jackets. So as the Comets come up the floor for the first time offensively, an opportunity to talk about their starting lineup at guard number 3, Alex Eink. Number 13, Carter Combs. Number 20, Dom Megerly. Number 24, McCain Finkenbein, as well as number 32, Baden Forup. And the Comets get the opening bucket of the game here. So they now lead 2-0. The Yellow Jackets trying to respond. And the 3 there for Andrew Griffith, opening up the scoring and putting the Yellow Jackets in the lead by a point. An opportunity to talk about the starters for BW. Only 1 change in the starting lineup as Jared Logan is inactive today. So number 21, Andrew Griffith, steps into the starting lineup, and he gets the opening bucket. Joining him in the rest of the lineup is number 2, Landon Potopsky, number 3, Titus Baskerville IV, number 11, A.J. Pistello, and number 22, Ray Ellington. A deep 3, and that one's buried by Carter Combs, just beating the shot clock before the horn. It's now 5-3. Ellington to Baskerville, the feed inside to Pistello on the low block, turning, wants to get to that left hand, and the lefty banks that one in. We're all knotted up at 5-all. Nearly 2 minutes played so far in the opening half. Cross-court pass, open 3, and buried there from McCain Finkenbein, the sophomore from Anna. 8-5 now. And a hot shooting start at the moment for the Comets. Griffith trying to respond, and Yellow Jackets soaring up in the air, trying to get the rebound. Costello and Potopsky both in the area, and last off of one of their hands and out of play. So three trips down the floor, and all 3 buckets have gone in for the Comets to start. So 100% from the floor. Going to be a tall task to keep up a number like that. That's not going to be possible, but right now, finding a way to get open shots, really good looks, and another excellent look there. Baden Forup, the freshman from Mansfield, went to high school at Lexington. He gets another 2 points for the Comets, and they now lead 10-5. Ellington driving, kick to the corner. Potopsky had some space, pump fake. Kicks it out, a dangerous pass, stolen away in transition. Griffith, a great job recovering. Freshman was able to swipe that one away. Goes out of play last off of the Yellow Jackets, but if he didn't swipe that one away from Megerle, would have been an easy lay-in for 2. Finkenbein on the inbound, underneath the basket. Back to Finkenbein, wants a 3 from the same spot he hit one earlier, just a little bit farther back. Catches the front end of the rim and rebounded by Potopsky. Costello cutting through the lane. Good feed from Potopsky and a finish by Costello, and it's 10-7. Despite the hot shooting start for the Comets, the Yellow Jackets keeping it very close. Blocked by Potopsky. And Ellington on the help defense nearly steals it away from Forup. Out of play last off of the Yellow Jackets, and a couple changes on the dead ball. Number 1, Miles Reynolds, as well as number 5, Luke Driscoll, check in for the first time this afternoon on the first changes for either team. Ike with Reynolds on him. Finkenbein, feed inside, good positioning there. Costello tried to do what he could to alter that shot, but ultimately the size of Baden Forup able to clear out some space, put up and in for another 2 points. Bodies on the floor. Comets come away with the basketball. Finkenbein, that feed to Forup again, wants to go to work. Turnaround jumper. He gets it to go over the outstretched arm of A.J. Costello. 14-7 now, Comets. Deflected on the pass, looking for Costello down low in transition. Megerle with the lay-in, scoops that up and in with the right hand. An excellent run at the moment now. 6 unanswered points for the Comets. Nearly 5 minutes played in the opening half. Reynolds now trying to drive the baseline, picks up his dribble, finds Driscoll inside. Driscoll in the lane, puts it up and in for 2. Driscoll, the senior guard from California, adds defensive presence off of the bench, but the mid-range jumper, one of his skills as well. And Driscoll's going to have to be an impactful player off the bench as well for the team in order to try to win this one against the Comets. Trailing by 9, Reynolds drives through a lot of contact. It's going to be a blocking call, and Reynolds took a hard fall. Again, hope he's okay, but landed really awkwardly on his back there. Reynolds rolls off to the side and seems to shake that off. Gets help up from his teammates, and sophomore guard appears to be okay and wants to remain in. Griffith and Costello will go to the bench as Rob Watson III checks in, as well as Leon Leveski. Reynolds on the inbound. Ellington has it now. Ellington averaging 20.2 points per game. The hot hand for sure for the Yellow Jackets. Quiet so far. Reynolds drives, tries to scoop that up and in. No good. In transition. Kenny decides to slow it down. Feed inside to Nixon. Nixon going to work. Needs some help. Kicks it out to Combs. Switch to Finkenbein. Finkenbein driving. Gets Ellington up in the air and couldn't get that pivot foot to stick. Slides on the floor. A traveling violation against the Comets. So a turnover, and the Yellow Jackets, they'll come the length of the floor the other way. Entry pass looking for Watson, stolen away by Nixon. Jumping in front of that. Purple jersey's up ahead, deflected away. Here's Driscoll, 2v2 in transition. Gonna take it himself. Tough look there. Scooped it up and in, really didn't catch any of the backboard. Hit the back of the rim and kicked to the left, and a rebound for the Comets. And unfortunately for the Yellow Jackets, no points on the turnover, but they're gonna have another trip back down the floor as Driscoll steals it again. As Reynolds wide open from three. Reynolds steps into that shot. Comfortable look. Didn't think twice and hits that one for three. 18-12. Nearly 7 minutes played so far in the first half. And after a really hot start the first 4 minutes for Capital, they've gone cold here with this second unit. Finkenbein, still one of those starters out there on the floor. He passes that one across the court to the corners. An open shot for Kenny, but did not leave the fingertips of Kenny before the horn goes off, and shot clock violation called. So quite a few bad possessions for the Comets down the floor. For the Yellow Jackets, number 12, Nick Timberlake checks into the game. Mentioned Timberlake was in double figures. Really hot hand from three on Wednesday night against Mount Union. Feed to Watson. Watson, tough move. Uses his length, get up and under and lay that one in for two, and it's now cut to a 4-point deficit for the Yellow Jackets, 18-14. Kenny with Reynolds on him, passes it away to Eink. Cross-court pass, Kenny. Switch to the near side in the corner, Miller. Leveski gets his hands on that, nearly steals it away. Post entry to Nixon. Nixon going to work. Right-handed hook. Up and in for Nixon, the junior from Minster. Leveski thought about the three, deciding to drive with the left hand. Really awkward shot there. A ton of contact. Coach Tom High on his staff not happy that there was no call. And they're really not going to be happy on the other end. Then Rob Watson III is called for the block. First team foul now against the Yellow Jackets. First personal against Rob Watson III. And Kyle Kenny, freshman guard from Centerville, will step to the free throw line for his first two free throw attempts of the afternoon. Misses on the front end of the two shots at the line. And a substitution as number 20, Dom Megerly, will check back in, and Nate Gerber will take a seat. Splitting the pairs, the second free throw is good for Kenny. Had only 2 free throw attempts so far this season, was 2 for 2 from the line. So his first miss was 2 shots ago. Reynolds hits that three from the middle of the floor. Miles Reynolds has 2 threes already in the early stages of this game. Sophomore guard here from Cleveland, played his high school basketball at St. Ed's. Averages 6.4 points per game off the bench, so already matching his average early in this one. Feed inside and a miss. A little bit strong for Dion Miller, and strong board for the Yellow Jackets, trailing by 4. Driscoll pushing the pace. Driscoll in transition. Runner, and smooth off the fingertips for Driscoll in the lane. And a timeout now for Capital as they want to try to stop the run that the Yellow Jackets have gone on and the momentum that they have here at home now. As Capital still leads 21-19 with just under 11 minutes left to go in the half. Want to remind everybody that this afternoon's Yellow Jacket men's basketball game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket athletics. University Hospital's Drzezinski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider of BW Athletics and its student athletes, as well as Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. You are listening to Yellow Jacket men's basketball on bwyellowjackets.com and OAC TV. So out of the timeout now. Probably a much needed timeout for the Comets. Still shooting a really good mark from the floor at the moment. 75% from the field, 66% from three. Yellow Jackets shooting at a good clip as well. Really turned it on in the last stretch of this first half. Yellow Jackets 66% themselves from the floor, so just trailing a little bit. But they're shooting 75% from three, 3 of 4 to this point, and if you can make threes at a clip like that, you have a chance to win any ball game you're in. Finkenbein. Now to Eink. Magerle. The entry to Forup, who's back on the floor. Kick to the corner. The drive. Tough pass in and out of the hands of Forup, but Eink was right there to catch that. And a trip. No call there, just Combs losing his footing. And we're going to get a blocking foul on the other end. In transition, Reynolds going at Alex Eink. And the call going against the Comets, and another team foul. So that is the second team foul now here. Not too many fouls so far in the first half of the first half. Reynolds at the free throw line. First one up and no good. Opportunity here with the second free throw to try to split the pair and pull the deficit within one. Second free throw is up and good. Reynolds is going to go to the bench, and Ray Ellington, sophomore guard from Westlake, checks back in. So far, both of these teams have 5 turnovers apiece. So a bit of sloppiness from both on the offensive end. We'll see who can clean up the turnovers a little bit faster. Magerle drops his shoulder into Leveski. Really strong move to the hoop to clear out some space using that size advantage. Unable to get the shot to go, but draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line for 2. Magerle, the 6'5" junior from Akron. First free throw's up and good. He averages 8.6 points per game. Is a 70% free throw shooter so far this season. Before the second free throw for Magerle, a couple changes as Griffith as well as Pistello, checks back in for the second time here this afternoon. So both starting bigs back out there on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. They had a tough time defensively in the first couple of moments against Forup. And the bigs there of Capital. So before the shot, going to be a foul on the floor called against Capital. So Ray Ellington going to inbound from the baseline. Off to your left on your screen. And before the inbound, going to be a change on the floor as Alex Eink will go to the bench. And back in is Nate Gerber. Ellington 1v1. I think Ellington will take this matchup any day. Trying to back down, clear out some space. Really nice defense, though, from Gerber. And Ellington left that one long, not able to catch rim. Costello battling down low with Forup. Combs 1v1, leaves his feet, passes it away to Gerber. Gerber driving, and Griffith swipes that hand in there, trying to poke it away. official says that he caught arm of Nate Gerber there. And so that will be the third team foul against the Yellow Jackets. Inbound here from the sideline on the near side of the floor. Able to find Finkenbein, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Combs driving through the lane. Nice feed inside. Help defense comes across, and Pistello able to do enough to alter that shot for Forup. No good from the corner for three. Rebound Gerber. A deep post entry for Forup. Could not get the shot to go. The follow, well done by Gerber. Gets the bucket, the and one chance as well. Go to the free throw line for the one shot. Try to extend it to a 6-point lead for the Comets. Currently 25-20. And a couple changes upcoming. It's number 3, Titus Baskerville, checks back in. As does number 12, Nick Timberlake. The senior forward went to Wayne Trace High School. Gets the and one to go, so it's 26-20. 2-possession ball game right now. Yellow Jackets trying to make it a 1-possession ball game. Griffith strong on that 3 off the back of the rim. Purple jerseys there crashing in on the boards. In transition, Magerly splits through 2 defenders, is tripped up, and he'll hit the deck. Unable to get the shot to go. He'll go to the line for 2. Fifth team foul now on BW. Capital shooting 80% from the free throw line so far this afternoon, 4 of 5. Magerly perfect on his previous trip to the line, but misses there on the front end of the 2 shots. For the second shot attempt, going to be 2 changes. Timberlake will check out, as does Griffith. Checking back in is Landon Potopsky as well as Leon Leveski. Second free throw up and good, splitting the pair. And a few changes. Kyle Kinney checks back in, as does Justin Nixon. Baskerville gives it away to Leveski. Had room to think about a shot, decided to give it off to Potopsky. Yellow Jackets working around the 3-point arc. Ellington going to work, clears some space, misses the 3, but Leveski gets the rebound. So second chance opportunity here on this trip down the floor for the Yellow Jackets. Leveski driving through the lane, a lot of contact. Saw a similar shot like that earlier from Leveski. Didn't get the call the first time. Coaching staff wasn't happy about it. Not quite as much contact there, but couldn't get to go. But credit to Leveski staying after it on the boards. Got the rebound again, was fouled, and out the line for 2. First free throw up and no good from the senior. From Brook Park. Went to Berea Mid Park for high school, so right across the street. No good on that trip to the free throw line. Getting tough when you leave points at the line like that. 27-20. 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Deep post entry. Really difficult for Nixon to try to elevate above Pistello being right underneath the rim. Pistello gets the block. Baskerville fouled in transition. No shot off. Foul going to be on the floor. It's going to be the 5th team foul against the Comets now. So 5 apiece for both teams. Inbound to Leveski. Ellington near side of the floor, driving to the middle. Gets doubled behind the back, keeps possession of the basketball. Leveski wide open 3, no good on the initial shot. Follows up his own miss. And the great hustle play leads to a foul as Leveski will now go to the free throw line again, and looked to redeem himself after going 0 for 2 on the last trip to the line. So misses there on the front end of that. 2 free throws from the line. And he's able to get the second. So maybe seeing that ball go through the rim, through the net, is going to help Leveski in his shooting stroke. But credit to the veteran. The one thing he's doing well is crashing the offensive boards. That's something the other young guys, they're going to have to follow his lead, try to do the same thing. Entry low, and that's a really tough entry there. Nixon had the position down low. If Gerber took a little bit off of that pass, rainbowed it in, but put it way too far. Nixon couldn't corral that basketball, and even if he did, would have been buried right underneath the rim. Nonetheless, I mean, goes out of play and ends up being a turnover, but like I said, would have been really difficult working out of that spot down low. BW hits a 3 here. They'll have a chance to cut to a 1-possession ball game. The drive from Ellington wanted the 2 there. Unable to get to go a little bit strong. Ellington not feeling this shooting stroke here to this point. Quick hands from Potopsky, and Baskerville coming away with it, pushing the pace, using his speed. Ellington in transition for 3, and there it is. Shooter's got to shoot. Keep putting up the shots, and at some point it's going to fall. It does there for Ellington. His first points of the ball game, and an easy miss there in transition for Capital. Going to be last off of the hands of a gray jersey. So the Comets will keep it on this end of the floor. Forup gave it up to Combs. Combs had a lot of space for that 3. Maybe overthought that one. An air ball. Not able to catch the rim. And we're going to have a couple changes on the dead ball. Rob Watson III checks back in for the Yellow Jackets, as Pistello will get a breather. Dion Miller in for the Comets. Potopsky has an open corner 3. Just a bit strong, rebounded by Combs. The drive, feed inside, a lot of traffic, but still, Dion Miller's able to get that one up and in. He shot that probably about a half second later. Rob Watson III probably comes up with the block there. But it's 29-24 and stolen away by the big man. Forup nearly loses his footing. Picks up the basketball, and a swat from Rob Watson III. Dion Miller didn't have full control of that basketball and rejected by the big senior forward from Sagamore Hills. Deep 3 from Ellington, strong off the back of the rim. Leveski pokes it out. Watson tries to keep that in play and tips it to Baskerville. Baskerville drives with the left hand. Pretty finish from the freshman guard from Stowe. One of the smallest guys you're going to see in college basketball on the floor, but the quickness, the speed, and that skill from Baskerville is evident. There's a reason why, again, the young freshman starts at point guard for the Yellow Jackets. Forup, tough shot. Watson III not straight up there, leaning into him, and Forup knew he was drawing that contact, and he'll step to the free throw line for 2 attempts. Currently sitting on 6 points at the moment. Forup leads all scorers for the Comets this season, averaging 13.1 points per game. First free throw's up and good for the 55% free throw shooter, and before the next free throw, a few changes as Miles Reynolds checks back in for the Yellow Jackets. as does A.J. Pistello. Checking in for Capital is Luke Kuhlman. Perfect on that trip to the line for Forup, and it's now 31-26. Just over 4 minutes left to go in the half. Close ball game to this point here. Neither team's really been able to pull away. Capital's managed to stay in the lead almost the entirety of the half. The Yellow Jackets have kept it close. Opportunity to make it even closer. Leveski, the open three. No good, and that one didn't kick back this way, so no chance of getting his own board this time. Comets can try to extend their lead. Combs finds Miller, who's open. Nothing but net. Splash on that three right in front of the BW bench, and 34-26 now the score, and Driscoll, next dead ball, is going to check in. Ellington wants to respond to three of his own, trading threes. A timeout for Coach Tom Heil in his 9th year as head coach of the Yellow Jackets, and wants to talk things over with his team as they trail by 5. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the half. We'll step aside with them and be back after the timeout here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. At the timeout. Capital will come the length of the floor from left to right on your screen. Just a few minutes remaining here in the opening half, and we'll get you updates throughout the second half and coming out of halftime as well on scores around the Ohio Athletic Conference. The other one that tipped off at 1 o'clock was Otterbein at Heidelberg. Everything else was tipping off at 2 this afternoon. Wilmington at Marietta, Ohio Northern at Mount Union, and Muskingum at John Carroll as well. Tight pressure from Reynolds. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. The drive. Tough finish there from Dion Miller, the sophomore from Solon. From up here in Northeast Ohio, able to drive through the contact and using his length. Ellington wants to hit one of his own. Step back from 3, and Ray Ellington had a slower start to the beginning of the game, but when you're a scorer, you have to keep shooting that basketball, and 3 3-pointers now for Ellington, 9 points, approaching double figures. Combs with Driscoll on him. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Megerly has it stolen away by Leveski. Leveski having a hard time coming away with that basketball. Possession did not change. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Feed to Forup, and Forup pulls up for the jumper. What looked like it could have been a disastrous possession for Capital ends up in 2 points, and Pistello now quickly back the other way. No good on that shot inside. Follows his own miss. Reynolds keeps it in play. Leveski, Reynolds wide open. He's hit 2 wide open threes, unable to hit a third. Pistello the follow. And with the hook with the left hand, he'll go to the floor and go to the free throw line for 2. So 17 fouls now for Capital. Mind you, they're in the bonus here at the moment with under 2 minutes left to go. So another foul, and Yellow Jackets are still shooting the rest of the way. Pistello misses on that first free throw. Potopsky will check back in, as does Finkenbein for Capital and Nate Gerber. Splitting the pair for Pistello as he gets the second one to go. Costello, the freshman, averages 13.8 points per game. So far this afternoon hasn't been one of the biggest contributors offensively. Has just been trying to battle on that low block. Right now a switch off as Costello finds himself on Gerber. Potopsky's been the one battling down low with Forup. Gerber wants to go at Costello, gets him up in the air, and a lot of contact there. And you're going to see Gerber go to the free throw line for 2 attempts. Smart pump fake from the senior. Got the young freshman forward up in the air, and when he was in no man's land, it's an easy way to draw the contact. And the free throw's good for Gerber. Potopsky's run out there on the floor is going to be a short one as he'll go to the bench. And Nick Timberlake checks back in. Minute and 18 seconds left, and the second free throw up and strong off the back of the rim. A rebound for Ellington. Reynolds from the middle of the floor. Down under a minute. Driscoll has an open three. Driscoll elevates and sinks the three in front of the Comets bench. It's a one-possession ball game, 39-36. Gerber, air ball on the three in transition, and now about a 14-second difference between the shot clock and game clock, but quickly Reynolds wants to go fast. Another three for Reynolds. It's 39-39. Now a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Capital can take their time. Try to get a good shot off. And see if they can at least go to the locker rooms with a lead. Finkenbein wants the deep three. Went early. He buries that one, and now the shot clock's off. 7 seconds on the game clock. Driscoll has to push the pace. 3 seconds. Can get it back to Ellington. Ellington for three. It's deep off the front of the rim and no good. So a good stint at the end of the first half for the Yellow Jackets, but they do find themselves still trailing at the break, 42-39 against the visiting Capital Comets. For myself, Cole McDaniel, going to step aside here for halftime. We'll be back in about 15 minutes here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. When we come back from the break, right before the start of the second half, we'll touch on some stats from the first half and talk about some of the scores in the Ohio Athletic Conference as well. Don't go anywhere. Be back with you shortly. we're back here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. Second half gets underway in just under a minute. We're here at Ursprung Gymnasium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. The Capital Comets have come on the road and taken a 42-39 lead at the half. The Yellow Jackets went on a run there at the end, tied it up 39-39, and then a big three-point shot by Finkenbein. Yellow Jackets unable to capitalize on the attempt at the buzzer beater at the end of the half, but really close between these two. It's going to be exciting second half here in the early stages of this afternoon. Quick scoring update. The other game that was going on here in the conference at this very moment, coming out of half, Otterbein 35, Heidelberg 35. So that's another close one going on. The other three games, as I mentioned earlier, they tip off at 2. Also, the Baldwin Wallace women's basketball team is on the road at the Capital Center, and they tip off here in about 10 minutes as well. Get you score updates on that one as we hit later stages in this one here, but basketball going to be inbounded here on the near sideline by Capital. They're going to be going from right to left on your screen. Second half now underway. In the first half, Miles Reynolds led the way scoring-wise for the Yellow Jackets off the bench in double figures with 10 points. Ray Ellington, hot hand from 3. And really the latter stages of the first half, pitching in 9 points himself. Driscoll with 7 off the bench. Leading scorer for Capital, Forup has 10 points in this game. He averages just over 13 a game. Megerly was the hot hand in the beginning part of the first half. He has 8, and Dion Miller off the bench with 7. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Finkenbein's going to have to do something. Ellington close to him, catches the rim, attempt at the rebound, trying to keep it in play. Eink throwing that one back, and it catches the out-of-bounds line here on the near sideline, and so unable to capitalize on that first trip down the floor for Capital. We know that even from range, McCain Finkenbein can hit some threes, the sophomore guard from Anna. Yellow Jackets on their first offensive trip here the second half. Well, they get 2 points. AJ Pistello finishing, now has 7 points this afternoon. Yellow Jackets trail by 1. Finkenbein backing down, size advantage on Baskerville. Forup now backing down Pistello. Turn around, and short off the side of the rim. Ray Ellington comes crashing in, elevates for the board. Griffith, Pistello, cross court to Baskerville. Potopsky looking for that post entry to Pistello. Pistello, the lefty, kicks it out to Griffith. Griffith, the open 3. Griffith hits, and the Yellow Jackets have their first lead since it was 3-2. Great feed inside, the cut through the lane. Carter Combs finishes for 2, and there you have it. Get the points right back. Level at 44 apiece. Just under 2 minutes played so far in the second half. Wide open on the corner 3, no good for Landon Potopsky, sophomore guard from Dover. In transition, could be a charge. Andrew Griffith had his feet set. It's now the first team foul against the visitors here in the second half. Titus Baskerville brings the basketball up the floor, picks up his dribble. Griffith hands it off to Baskerville. Baskerville has 2 points in the game. He's looking for 4. There you have it. 4 points now for Titus Baskerville. Averages 9.1 points per game this season. Gives his team the lead again. So back and forth these teams go here. The very beginning of the second half. Megerly kicks out Eink, wide open 3, strong off the back of the rim. Baskerville tried to get to that rebound. Megerly just pokes it to Forup, who hits the mid-range jumper, and we're level at 46 again. Ellington gets bumped, hits the shot, but well after the whistle blew, and it's going to be a foul on the floor. Second team foul against the Comets. .15 seconds on the shot clock. Ellington driving the baseline, loses a handle, dive for the basketball, and Griffith gets to it. Able to find Ellington. Ellington wants the three. Ellington hits the three. Ray Ellington in double figures now with 12 points. 4 3-pointers. The sophomore guard from Westlake. Dish down inside to Forup. 2 gray jerseys surrounding him. Ellington to his left and Pistello to his right. A lot of contact on the arm there, and Braden Forup will go to the free throw line for 2, and as Braden Forup steps to the line for the 2 free throw shots. Mentioned that's the first team foul against the Yellow Jackets here this half. First free throw up and no good. Forup was 2 for 2 from the free throw line prior to that miss. 55% free throw shooter, as I mentioned earlier. And misses on the second one as well. So an empty trip at the line. And the Yellow Jackets can try to take a 2-score lead. They can make a basket here on this trip. Potofsky has room to drive through the lane. A lot of contact. Pistello on the follow. Pistello no good. Rebounded by Forup. Deep 3 for Combs. That one wedges between the backboard and the back of the rim. Head coach Damon Goodwin, very experienced head coach in his 29th season now as the coach of Capital. Not too happy with that shot. And he's going to make a substitution. Caden Finkenbein going to go to the bench, as does Braden Forup. Kyle Kinney into the game, and Justin Nixon in as well. Ellington has a speed mismatch. Cross-court pass to Reynolds. Reynolds driving, kicks it out. Griffith has plenty of room for the 3, steps into that shot. Little strong Baskerville shows off the hustle, follows it up. Poked out a play last off of Capital, remain with the Yellow Jackets. Reynolds finds Griffith wide open underneath the hoop. Got lost. Gerber couldn't quite recover in time. An easy 2 for the Yellow Jackets, and now BW leading by 5. Momentum going the way of Baldwin Wallace, and we have a timeout on the floor. And the visitors, they need it here at the moment. But during the timeout, we'll stick right here. I'll talk about some of the sponsors here for Baldwin Wallace University. A reminder that this afternoon's Yellow Jacket men's basketball game is being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider, and Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. You're listening to Yellow Jacket men's basketball on bwyellowjackets.com and OAC TV. We'll be right back after the timeout. Out of the timeout, Capital will be inbounding the basketball in front of their bench. Tom Megerly, with Ellington in front of him. He's able to find Nate Gerber. Near side with Combs now. Feed to Megerly. Backing down Pistello. Pistello gets his left paw up there. Short on that shot. Tough feed. Threaded through a needle down low. And Gerber backing down. Goes to work. Gets the 2 and 1. Talk about a tight pass, too. That one was one-handed sidearm through traffic and somehow found the hands of Nate Gerber. That's almost like an NFL quarterback type of throw, threading the needle. And it ended up paying off, and no good on the three-point play from the line, but able to at least make the bucket initially. So still 2 points on that trip. Just trailing by 3 now are the Comets. The Yellow Jackets, who've had momentum going their way here in the second half, they want to add to that lead. Line drive 3, no good for the lefty Pistello. Before the cross-court pass to Kinney. Going to be a foul on the floor. Going against number 22, Ray Ellington. A few changes. Luke Driscoll will check in, as does Rob Watson III. Pistello and Baskerville will go to the seat. Here's a 3, strong off the back of the rim. Been a cold night so far for Carter Combs. This afternoon hasn't been able to find that three-point stroke. Has hit 1 of 4. Just 6 points so far for one of their best scorers on their team. Ellington driving, ton of contact, couldn't get the shot to go, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 attempts. Justin Nixon going to be the one hit with the foul, and actually they're going to say it's on the floor. Thought Ellington was in the shooting motion. He did get the shot up. They're going to say the contact was well before he was able to get into the shooting motion. Definitely close. Nonetheless, a really good look here for Leveski for 3, short off of the front of the rim. No good, and Leveski's been cold on those wide open threes. Size advantage right now. Leveski trying to hang strong with Gerber, but Gerber driving through the contact. Tried to go up and underneath and flip it up and in, but he caught the underside of the rim. Nonetheless, go to the free throw line for 2 attempts. 4th team foul against the Yellow Jackets. First free throw up and good for Gerber, and 2 changes for the Comets. Alex Eink, as well as Dion Miller, check into the game. Ellington will go to the bench for the Yellow Jackets, and checking in is Nick Timberlake. Perfect on that trip to the line. And just a 1-point lead now for BW. Just over 13 and a half minutes left to go in the second half. Entry in the middle to Watson. Found Timberlake wide open. Hit 4 threes on Wednesday night. Couldn't capitalize there. We know that Timberlake can shoot the 3. He's proved it before and has a good-looking stroke. The drive, no good on the shot. Leveski and Driscoll fighting for the rebound. Leveski then feeds it to Driscoll up ahead. He'll slow things down, be able to run the offense. Reynolds sitting on 10 points. Here's a switch off. Timberlake, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Leveski going to have to take the 3. Leveski, again, another miss from 3 off the side of the rim. Gerber. If Capital pays attention, they got a mismatch down low. Should probably find the post entry to Justin Nixon. Looked like as soon as Gerber was going to try to catch that one, got his head up quickly and was probably going to try to go to Nixon, but poked away by BW. Well done, and then they can get some more favorable matchups here again. Watson back on Nixon. Inbounded to Eink. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Poked away. 3 seconds. Had some time. Eink launches that from half court. He probably could have taken a couple steps forward with about a second left on the shot clock. Shot a more reasonable three instead. Rushed it a bit and almost went in. Caught the front of the rim still. And out of play for BW to come the other direction. 12 minutes left to go in the second half. Reynolds an open three. No good off the front of the rim. Leveski fighting for the rebound. We're going to get a jump ball. Tied up between Leveski and Justin Nixon. Possession arrow pointing the way of BW, so they'll keep the basketball on the offensive end of the floor. So extend their trip. And we'll see if they can potentially extend their lead before the inbound here from underneath the basket. A few changes for the Comets. 3 to be exact. Reynolds down the baseline. It's tipped away, but Driscoll follows, and Driscoll puts it up and in for 2. Right place, right time. And Luke Driscoll now has 9 points. Help defense comes from Watson. Holmes just loses the basketball. Driscoll comes away with it. Feed inside from Reynolds. Picking up the assist. Rob Watson III can't get it much easier of a bucket than that. No one around him. 55 to 50. Feed inside. Leveski a block from behind. He was late coming across defensively. Dom Megerly looked like he was going to be able to put that one up and in for an easy 2, but no, Leveski might not have the height of most forwards, but he showed off his hops to get up there, and still going to be Comets basketball, but the Yellow Jackets going to make them work for it a little bit more here on this possession. Drive down the baseline, strong finish there for Eink. Alex Eink, the junior from Marion Local High School. Cuts it to a one-possession ball game again. Watson through the contact as he was flying in. Took the contact from Baden Forup. His first personal foul, and that's now the 5th team foul on the Comets. Rob Watson III mentioned he was in double figures off the bench on Wednesday night against 18th ranked Mount Union. On this trip to the free throw line, makes his first. Second attempt upcoming in just a moment. Andrew Griffith checks in, and so does Nick Timberlake, and we're going to see after this free throw made by Watson, Watson will go to the bench, and checking back in is A.J. Postello. (57-52) now. Finkenbein gives it up to Eink. Now with Combs. Entry to Megerly. Megerly working on Ellington. Ellington standing strong. And a delayed whistle there. Megerly puts it up and in. Gets the 2 points on the bucket and one chance. And Ellington's saying he's straight up. Coach Tom Heil saying the same thing. And the delayed whistle makes you question that one a bit. Officials have certainly let them play more in the first half. Whistles have been blowing a little bit quicker here in the second. only had a few fouls between the two teams first couple of minutes, actually first 10 minutes. 5 apiece now already halfway through the second half. Big 3 there for Nick Timberlake. 60-55 now. So a good response for BW. Magerle has a wide open 3 and trading threes. Now the Comets just down by 2. Magerle leads all the Comet scores with 14. Gets the rebound off of the Yellow Jackets miss, then tries to keep it in play and throws it away. It's going to be last off of... No. Yeah. Near side official having a conversation. I think he's going to overrule the other one. And that's off of the Comets. Again, the officials, they've done a good job here this afternoon. The foul, totally understand that one down the floor. The rest of the game hadn't really been called. Maybe quite that soft, but still the call nonetheless, depending upon how the game's going. Again, sometimes they'll call it, sometimes they won't, so I get that one. The error on who this one was off of seemed like it was obvious that it was off of the Comets there. But the conversation here, trying to talk things over, I'm still not quite sure what the discussion is. Seemed like they got it straightened out pretty quickly, but nonetheless, as you hear the Jeopardy music going here over the speakers in the arena, and both teams almost being able to have like a timeout to talk things over, get a quick breather, discuss things as a team, get some water and hydrate. We finally get things sorted out here. So 60-58. Yellow Jackets leading by 2. They will inbound from in front of their bench. 9 minutes and 28 seconds left in the half. Ellington, 11 seconds on the shot clock. Ellington wants to drive, turning, looking for space, splitting through 2 defenders, loses that one, gets it back through the contact, and Ellington up and in for 2. He'll go to the free throw line for the and 1, so I think Ellington probably feels like he was done some justice there as he got hit for the foul on the other end, and then they were able to capitalize on the and 1 chance, and now he's going to get one of his own on this end. Ellington, one of the better scorers in the conference, capitalize on the old school 3-point play. Landon Potopsky checks in for the Yellow Jackets, 63-58. Combs looking for Magerle. Finds Gerber. Gerber has a size advantage here, splitting through 2 defenders. Wanted to take on Driscoll, but Pistello came across and said, no, not today. That's a block, and he held on to the basketball. Just scooped that one. Driscoll driving through the lane. Couldn't get it to go. Have to go back to that block and say a lot of players love to just swat the basketball and, and almost launch it as far as they can, make a statement. But if you can make a block and hold on to the basketball and make sure you keep possession, that is the way to get a block. Well done by Pistello, and then you see the Comets on this trip down the floor. Well, they hit a 3, pull it back to within 2. Griffith, a lot of contact, couldn't get the 3 to go, but took the contact from Gerber. If you're an experienced senior like Nate Gerber, you have to be smarter there on your closeout. Go straight up and just try to affect that shot enough. Again, if you go arm almost straight out. Again, you run the risk of creating that contact, and then you have a guy stepping to the free throw line for 3 attempts. Doesn't hurt you nearly as much as it could, as the freshman Andrew Griffith has now missed the first 2 of those 3 attempts. Justin Nixon back in for Capital as Forup will take a seat. Titus Baskerville, the 4th, back in for the Yellow Jackets, and at least 1 free throw made of those 3 at the line. 3-point ball game now, 64-61, 8 minutes remaining in the game. Potopsky trying to get around Megerly, got his right hand in there and tried to swipe it away. 16 foul on the Yellow Jackets. 1 more and Capital's in the bonus. Kick to the corner, Finkenbein, open 3, good hit there. Quick decision, and Finkenbein knew as soon as he was going to catch that basketball what he wanted to do with it. Tie ball game, 64 all. A timeout called by Coach Tom Heil, and we'll keep it right here during the timeout. A reminder that this afternoon's Yellow Jacket men's basketball game is being brought to you by Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. You are listening to Yellow Jacket men's basketball on bwyellowjackets.com and OAC TV. An update on the other game in the OAC that tipped off at 1 o'clock like this one here. Otterbein started to pull away on the road against Heidelberg, 65-57. 8.5 minutes remaining in that one, so still plenty of time. Heidelberg still in that game, but those two are really duking it out for that 4th spot in the conference. Those are the 2 teams sitting just above Capital in the standings. Of course, the rest of the conference tipped off at 2 o'clock, as I mentioned earlier. So some updates on those games. Marietta, Wilmington, last update. They played 6 minutes so far in the first half. Marietta at that time was leading 8-7. Mount Union went out to a quick 9-2 lead against Ohio Northern. And in the matchup between John Carroll and Muskingum, and John Carroll, one of the top teams in the country this year, they have a commanding lead at 22-10 against the Muskies, who are sitting in that 10th spot in the conference. Miss on the shot out of the timeout for the Yellow Jackets. Pacello trying to rebound the basketball. It goes out of play. Comets will take possession. And it's been a while since they've had the lead for the vast majority of the first half. Almost the complete entirety of that half. And since they lost the lead in the first 2 minutes of this half, they've trailed the whole way. Opportunity on this trip to take the lead here, feed inside through some traffic. Kick out, Combs wants to drive, and no shot, but going to be a foul on the floor. And that is the 7th team foul against the Yellow Jackets. So now in the bonus, so number 13, Carter Combs, the junior guard from Cincinnati, played his high school basketball at Lakota West, now at the free throw line. For the 1-and-1, it's the front end there, so he's going to get a second shot. There's a lead again for the Comets. You could hear a pin drop here inside Ursprung Gymnasium here for those free throws. Second free throw made. 2-point lead now for the visitors. When the Yellow Jackets go down, it's a close ball game. You know, Ellington wants to find a way to score, and Ellington does. Takes it himself, says, I got this, guys. Drives to the hoop and up and in for two. Give him 17 points so far this afternoon. Finkenbein with Baskerville just trying to be a pest and get his hand in there. Nixon, Combs drives, blow by, follow. Nixon for two. Ellington to Pistello. Pistello going to work. Pistello in a great spot to get to his left hand. Decides to go with the right this time. Goes with the weak hand and makes it work. Tied up again. Gerber, the post entry to Nixon. Nixon gets position, past Pistello, up and in for two. 70-68 now, so back and forth these two teams continue to go. Felt like this one was going to be a fun one, looking at these two teams before coming into this game. Capital, you know, trying to find a way to string two wins together, but again, it's been a lot of win one, lose one. And the Yellow Jackets trying to find a way to respond after the big loss to Mount Union, what's been really a tough conference schedule for them this year, tough for a young team, but felt like they had every bit of a chance to win this one today, and they're playing hard against the Comets, and that's why it's 70-70 up on the scoreboard with just under 5 minutes left to go in this game and a full timeout. So we'll take it with them here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. The full timeout here, back on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. I'm Cole McDaniel, and 70-70 is the score. Back and forth, these two teams have continued to go, and it has been really a great game so far. Hope everybody at home watching this one live is enjoying this one, and Yellow Jackets thinking that maybe a double dribble there. Finkenbein step back. That's a really tough three as it got late into the shot clock. Nearly made the shot though. Got off the back of the rim. And everybody attempting to get the rebound. Bodies colliding, and see Andrew Griffith falls to the floor, drawing the foul. So 1-1 because the Yellow Jackets in the bonus here right now as well. 18 fouls on the Comets to this point. Going to get a substitution before the free throw as Megerly is back in, and Eink will go to the bench. Free throw up and good, so second attempt upcoming, and Yellow Jackets, they take a lead again. Second free throw up and good. BW shooting just a little bit over 50% from the free throw line, so plenty of points left at the line this afternoon, but really good trip there. 2-point lead. Finkenbein trying to respond from the corner for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Second chance points here now for the Comets as they get their own rebound. Came all the way out to Gerber. Megerly going to work. Tight defense by Reynolds. Taken away. Griffith in transition. He's fouled. Costello tried to throw it down on the putback. But Griffith, he'll go to the free throw line for 2 attempts. So 9 team fouls now against the Comets. Last trip to the line, Griffith was perfect. 2 for 2. Makes the first free throw there, so another attempt upcoming, and Andrew Griffith in double figures currently. Second free throw up and good. 13 points, second leading scorer for BW this afternoon. Only trailing none other than Ray Allington, who has 17. Allington, the one defending Megerly right now. Combs picks up his dribble, needs some help. Megerly, open three. Megerly off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Driscoll. Tough pass for Allington, but Allington able to come away with it, snag it. Wide open three. Hits the three, turns and looks to the crowd. Allington's feeling it. 20 points now, 77-70 Yellow Jackets. Capital to stop the bleeding, and they get 2 right back. Strong take from Nate Gerber. Gerber has 12 after that bucket just a moment ago. So currently 3 Comets have 12 points at the moment. Finkenbein, Forup, and Gerber. Awkward shot there for Griffith, no good. And the Comets trailing by 5, under 3 minutes left to go. Driscoll bit on that, trying to steal it away. Finkenbein runs into pressure. Reynolds in transition has 2 up ahead. Driscoll unselfishly gives it to Ellington, and Ellington puts it up and in for 2. 79-72, and this crowd coming to life as the Yellow Jackets have founded an additional gear, and they're really coming to life here. Feel the momentum going their way, trying to get their 3rd conference win this season before they get to February here. Last few games here of January on the calendar. Of course, we know that February, always the last month really of the regular season here in the Ohio Athletic Conference before tournament play starts. This would be a huge win for the Yellow Jackets. We'll take a break with them here during the timeout. Step aside here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. Timeout. Capital going to come down the floor for an offensive possession. 2.5 minutes left to go, and Capital coming into this one, we've definitely felt like this is a game we should win. If they lose this one, going to be tough to try to catch some of those teams above them in the standings, but not going to be the end of the world with anybody catching them here today in that 6th spot. Turnaround jumper, no good. Forup trying to fight for the rebound. A lot of contact between Costello and Forup. Forup definitely had the basketball. It looked like Costello really got a lot more of the body and the arm there. And foul going to be called against Pistello. Close, but probably the right call there from the officials, and you're going to see Baden Forup, the freshman from Mansfield, at the free throw line. These are important free throws for the Comets. Forup takes a deep breath on the 1-and-1, and he gets that first free throw to go, so a second attempt upcoming from the line. Comets have now made 14 of their 20 attempts at the line. Make that 15, perfect on that shot. Forup will go to the bench, and Dion Miller checks in. A speed thing defensively for the Comets. They're trying to run a full court press. See if they can potentially trap the Yellow Jackets, force a turnover, make things difficult. Now just Ellington going 1v1. Here comes the help. Ellington gets past half court. Feeds it to Driscoll. Driscoll, tough feed inside. That's through a lot of traffic. Should have just caught that basketball, backed it out. We're going to have a foul in transition. It's going to go against Luke Driscoll. So the mistake there and then the foul. His second personal foul, and brings free throws now for the Comets. So you're giving them some gimme points. That's not the type of foul that you necessarily want. Dom Megerly at the line for the 1-and-1. Gets the first one to go. Second attempt upcoming, and at the moment a 2-possession ball game. But if he sinks this free throw, it's a 1-possession ball game. Second free throw up and good. 79-76 now. Driscoll wild again as he crosses half court. Makes a mistake. Tough to have one of your veterans, a senior, making back-to-back mistakes like that in a close game. AJ Pistello trying to block the shot there. Swats and came down with that arm. His third personal foul now. And Dion Miller's going to have 2 free throws upcoming. We're going to have a timeout though. 1 minute and 50 seconds to be exact on the clock. 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back for 2 free throws upcoming. Back here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV out of the timeout. The 2 free throws for Dion Miller, the sophomore from Solon, upcoming. So a chance to cut it to 1 point in this ball game, and a little bit of momentum here going for Capital since they started the full court press. And those few mistakes for the Yellow Jackets were pretty costly. First free throw, good for Miller. Second free throw attempt. Also up and good. So trailing by 1 now. The visitors still applying that full court press. Reynolds, high pass to Ellington, has to soar up in the air to catch that one. Help defense comes across. That's a floater. That's a bad pass, trying to get out of the break. Up and underneath Baskerville, trying to swipe that one away, and Ike lays it in for 2, and now the Yellow Jackets trail. BW really struggling with the full court press. Baskerville the 4th. Backing it out, 7 seconds on the shot clock, gives it to Griffith, deep three, in and out. Costello fighting for the rebound, it's poked away, and Megerly keeps it in bounds. So in play, under a minute left to go here now. And a timeout for Capital. They want to talk things over, see what they can set up on this offensive possession and get some points. But the Yellow Jackets, they need to find something that can go their way here, because the last 2 minutes have not. Be really disheartening for the Yellow Jackets, who have found a win to be hard to come by this season, to let one slip out of their fingertips when they had a 5-point advantage consistently for a long stretch here in the second half. But that being said, I have in my time called a lot of overtime games here at Ursprung Gymnasium, and this is certainly one of those games where it would not shock me if it manages to go to overtime. If you're the Yellow Jackets, you could get a stop, get down the floor, get a bucket, and these two teams, neither team has been able to pull away throughout this game. Just has the makings of being close the whole way, and under a minute left, anything can happen. And a bad inbound pass. And Capital turning it over. And the Yellow Jackets now coming away with the basketball after the turnover, and they'll go the other direction offensively. And that's the type of mistake that is costly for the Comets here. You have all the momentum going your way the last few minutes. You make a costly mistake like that out of a timeout, that's a killer. It really is. So if you're the Yellow Jackets, can you capitalize? And I think the biggest thing is get it in Ellington's hands. Let him go to work. I'd take your chances any day with a scorer of that caliber. The drive from Ellington through the contact, the tough shot for two. Ellington gives the Yellow Jackets the lead, and we got a timeout on the floor. Yellow Jackets going to try to set up defensively now. 39.2 seconds left in this game, so a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lots of time for Capital to come down the floor, run the offense, and get a good shot off. Certainly don't need a three, you only need a two here in this, or drive to the lane and try to draw a foul and go to the free throw line for some easy points. Whatever you do, probably want to be aggressive. We'll step aside here and be right back after the timeout. Out of the timeout here on BWYellowJackets.com and OAC TV. 39.9 seconds left to go in this game, and take a look at the offensive stats for these teams. Still, Capital shot the better clip from the field, 27-52. That's almost 52%. Yellow Jackets, 47.5%. From three, though, it's dead even. 38% from three for both of these teams. Capital a little bit better from the free throw line, but Capital has turned the ball over more, 12 to be exact in the Yellow Jackets. They got 19 points off of those turnovers. Great feed inside. Looked like it was going to be an easy two for Dion Miller, and that's actually a smart foul there for Andrew Griffith. Sure, he got beat initially, but on the recovery, rather foul, make it difficult. And some pressure free throws here for Dion Miller. 27 seconds left, trailing by one. Makes one, it's a tie ball game. Makes a second. And could be leading, but the Yellow Jackets would have a chance to get the final shot of the game. First free throw up and good, so tie ball game, 81 apiece. Titus Baskerville, the fourth, will check back in as Driscoll goes to the bench, so an offensive for defensive switch. And now Miller with the free throw back in Northeast Ohio to tie it up, to take the lead. He's already tied up on his first free throw. Now gives his team the lead. Comets up 82-81, so a timeout. If you're the Comets, why not stick in the full court press here at this point? You've given the Yellow Jackets some difficulty, some troubles. Forced 3 turnovers out of the press here in the last couple of minutes. Honestly, see if you can force a turnover again, get a trap, make things difficult there in the backcourt even though you're up. And you know what BW probably wants to do. Likely want to get the ball in the hands of Ray Ellington. Can't blame them. Ellington has 24 points today, averages 20.2 points per game. I think he has to be the well offensively. If help defense comes across and goes to Ellington and you leave somebody wide open, certainly the Yellow Jackets, they take that look, especially with a guy like Miles Reynolds, who's had a decent day shooting-wise as well. Griffith's had a couple of decent looks, knocked down some shots himself, 2 from 3 to be exact, so curious to see what Tom Heil does for his offense, what he wants to draw up. But I'd still say it's safe to assume Ellington will get that basketball, but you got to worry about probably getting out of a full court press first, because Damon Goodwin, I don't think he's going to want to back off here. The extremely experienced head coach going to let his guys apply some pressure, at least make it a little bit difficult in the backcourt. A lot of youth, 2 freshmen from Stowe, nearly getting trapped. Timberlake gets it back, well done by Baskerville, and then the defense of the Comets, they step back. So 20 seconds left to go. Ellington now has it. Ellington wants to drive, goes to work. There's a lot of time on the clock. That's a tough shot, no good. Gonna have to foul quick. Yellow Jackets didn't foul immediately. Back down to the other end of the floor in a lay-in for 2. So now, after the 2-point bucket, it's a 3-point ball game. 84-81, 6 seconds left, 6.1 to be exact. The Yellow Jackets, they missed an opportunity to foul right on that rebound. They took too long to try to wrap up the rebounder. Hesitant for a second, allowed for the leak out. Understand where Finkenbein's thinking, hey, points are important right now. Let's just put this one in. No one was around him, though. He maybe could have dribbled that one to the corner here on the near side of the floor and maybe taken another 2 to 3 seconds off that clock. Force the Yellow Jackets to foul and go to the line with only 3 seconds left. Certainly gutsy decision, go one way or the other, but plenty of time for BW to get down the floor, get a decent shot off. They can hit the buzzer beater. We're going to overtime here this afternoon. What a treat this afternoon has been. It's one of those games where you can't ask for a much more competitive game. If you wanted one as a neutral supporter, just to enjoy back and forth and really some fun basketball, that's what this has been. Certainly some sloppiness at times, but both teams have made mistakes. Both teams have been responding when the other one hits a big shot. Now the Yellow Jackets, they're the ones that they need a big response. Inbound to Baskerville. Baskerville blowing by the defense. Kick to Timberlake and misses the handle. Baskerville turnaround jumper, and that's not going to go. There you have it. Not the best possession for the Yellow Jackets, and again, you'd love to get that basketball to Ray Ellington. Let him have the shot for 3, and he didn't even have a chance. Just slipped out of the hands of Nick Timberlake in the corner. Baskerville was somehow able to track it down, but with time running down, turnaround fading away. It's hard to get some power on that shot from the corner, and air ball ends it, but really, really competitive game here this afternoon. The Comets on the road, they survived the test that the Yellow Jackets gave them. Score of 84-81. And the visitors, they improved to 12-7 overall. 6-6, so exactly 500 in the conference at this point. For this young Yellow Jackets team, some good learning lessons. A lot that they can take away for the future, but stings to lose this one this afternoon. They dropped to 5-14 overall, 2-10 in the OAC. Quick update on the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. For the Yellow Jackets, they will go on the road to John Carroll midweek at the Tony DiCarlo Center. Top 5 ranked team in the country in Division III basketball. John Carroll, really, really talented team, but always fun when it's a cross-town rivalry matchup, and looking forward to that one midweek. And then as for Capital, their next one midweek, they're going to be back at home against Marietta. For myself, Cole McDaniel, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening live on bwyellowjackets.com as well as OAC TV. That's going to do it for this one here today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the rest of your weekend as well.